Hello, everyone. Yeah?
I can hear you.
You can? That's good. All right, so let's dive into the first ever episode of Tête-à-Tête with Giant. I'm very, very excited to be here and very excited to have you all here as well. It's interesting, I'm using the word here, considering the only here we're all in is hearing today. Different times call for different ways of doing things. This show, the PR initiative, was initially supposed to be Giant sitting across from his guests, sipping some coffee and having some conversations, having an informal interview, sort of like Coffee with Karan, but less scandalous, like Daily Show with Trevor Noah, but no politics because Toastmasters. But different times we all adapt to changes. And I suppose there are a lot of advantages to doing the show virtually. For example, you're all joining us from the convenience of your house, probably dressed up formally on the top, but wearing home pajama pants and shorts. You can be more comfortable. Also, I feel it's more inclusive of everybody. For example, I'm tuning in today from Thoothukudi. I belong to the Thoothukudi Toastmasters Club. We are a thriving young club. We are very proud to be part of this club. This is a little bit of PR for my district and my club. But so it kind of opens opportunities to network, know each other. It makes the world a much smaller place, I feel. So I'm here today to introduce the man of the hour, a man who doesn't need the introduction, the Giant of Tête-à-Tête with Giant. So he's very famous around here. Most of you know him quite well, I would assume. He's sort of to Toastmasters, Tamil Nadu, what Surya's to the Tamil cinema, or Tom Cruise is to Hollywood cinema in many ways. When I first got to talk with Giant, he kind of gave me the free rein. He said I could say pretty much anything. He said I could get him to do anything to entertain all his audience through the show. So I made a list of things he could do, like probably get him to sing a SPB song, or maybe do a Dapangu with the dance, cartwheel, headstand. Then I realized that I would have to pass the mic onto the stage onto Giant, and payback's not probably going to be as easy. So I decided to do my job quite properly. So with Giant, I wanted to find out a little bit more about him. So I did a little search, or what we call cyber stalking. So here is a little bit of cyber stalked scoop for all of you. Giant graduated from BITS Pilani in 1992. I did a little bit of math, and I realized that makes him Generation X. What I noticed is, for a Generation X, his internet presence was very cool and funny and creative. For example, he runs a very cool marketing company called Toss the Coin. And once you head to the Toss the Coin homepage, you'll realize how different it is from a boring corporate company. It's very creative, and it kind of speaks more about his vision and the company's vision. Apart from that, he's also has a wide range of experience in sales and marketing. He's held leadership roles in CSS Corp, Computer Science Corporation, now known as DXC, and California Software. Giant joined Toastmasters in 2006, I'm told, because to overcome his fear of public speaking. It's so funny to hear that now, I suppose, like, you know, somebody who's so well-spoken, who's so funny, so confident, actually had a fear of public speaking, but also kind of gives us some idea of how far you could travel with, you know, Toastmasters, and how you could turn out to be an inspiration, motivation for everyone else. Now he is a distinguished Toastmaster member, a DTM. He's also a motivational speaker, an executive coach, and corporate trainer. He's delivered about 1,100 speeches. Wow, that's a lot of speeches, keynotes, lectures, and workshops about design thinking, sales, branding, digital marketing, and communication. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you today, Giant. And the part about him that caught my attention the most is his funny Facebook status messages, how hilarious and lighthearted everything was. And from his communications and conversations with his other fellow Toastmasters, I realized that he's very, everybody's very fond of him and they admire his humor and spirit. So it's great pleasure. Before I pass the stage on to Jain, I'm going to do a little bit of virtual housekeeping. So to everybody present here, we want you to be a bit more interactive as audience because this is a very light-hearted show for everyone to enjoy. It's supposed to be very casual, although Jain decided to wear a shirt and look formal. So please feel free to send us chat questions on your chat window. And I'm happy to stop and get Jain to do cartwheels for you if you want him to do that. But communicate to us. Otherwise, just kick back, enjoy, and relax. The floor is yours, Jain.
Wow. Hey, thank you, Smiley. Thank you for not asking me to do those stuffs that you just narrated. I hope I am audible because I don't see any participants except for the number there, 47 of us. Yes, you are. Yeah, somebody's just chatted. So Smiley, thank you so much for taking this up in a very short notice and all the way from Thoothukudi, and thank you for teaching me what Thoothukudi is because all that I knew was Tuticorin, and thank you for teaching me that Tuticorin is Thoothukudi. Some of you in this forum, you're not, I'm audible? Yes, somebody just said I'm audible. I'm just busy reading chats because that's the only acknowledgement we'll get. So Thoothukudi has a Toastmasters club. I heard you do some PR. I love that. So any of you trying to visit Thoothukudi, you must drop by this club. Apparently a very vibrant club, I heard. And thank you for doing that stalking and getting some information about me. I was a little embarrassed because there's too much PR about me. But it feels nice, right, to hear from somebody else about you. So that's exactly what we are going to do today. We have got 3 important guests with us. The district director of the newest district in Toastmasters, Praveen Mani. Then we have the PQD, Satish Menon, and we have the CGD, Parthasarathi. So I've known these 3 people for a very long time. I know quite a lot about them, something that the rest of you might not know. So I'm going to behave as if I'm asking them for the first time and listening to them for the first time. And let me promise you, if they don't give me the answer that I'm looking for, I'm going to reveal that myself. So guaranteed, right? So that is what we're here for. So it's a very casual meet. I don't see Praveen, Satish, and Partha on video. I don't know whether they are there. If they're not there, then I don't know what I'll do. I know they're there, but I don't see them on video. Is that how it is going to be?
Hey, hi, Jayana. Yeah, here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. So thank you, Praveen. There you are.
Yes.
And then what about Satish and Partha? You guys have switched on your video?
Yeah, we are there, Jayan. You just have to find us.
Oh, yeah. So there you are. So, Partha, and what about Satish? Satish, I'm waiting for you so that you switch on your video.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard you say something, but
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Great. Fantastic. So the 3 people are here. Fantastic. So let's get started. So the interesting part is I've not revealed to the 3 of them what questions am I going to ask them. They're absolutely clueless. You look at their faces, you will know these are kids who have come for a board exam unprepared. So that's what they feel. I'm pretty sure that's what they're feeling, but it's going to be fun. So we're going to give you marks. There will be audience giving away marks. I will be giving away marks as your professor. Maybe Smiley, you can also join me in giving away marks, and we'll see who's even passing this exam today, failing this exam miserably, and maybe one of them is going to pass with distinction, but we will get started. We have around...
Jayan, sorry to interrupt you. I don't think so we will fall for that part. In fact, you're trying to intimidate us by keeping all the trophies behind you. So don't worry. So all the trophies, so we won't fall for that. Don't worry. You can go ahead.
These are trophies I purchased.
Right.
And some of them are stolen. In fact, one of the trophies that is there on the shelf belongs to Karthik Mohandas. I collected it on his behalf and I never gave it to him. So I just happily kept it there and nobody questions, I just turned it around so that they don't see the name on that. So that's how that collection is. Sorry. Right, so Satish, I can see you right now. So great. I'm going to ask you some kind of serious questions because I have a strong feeling many of them out here want to definitely understand some huh, I hear some background noise. Right. So people, I'm sure people are keen to know more about the three of you, your leadership journey. How did you get here and things like that. So we are going to take it on quite a serious note. I'm going to go one after another. I'll call out names and if you could just quickly give me those answers. The very first question will go to the youngest of the three of you that I presume is Partha. The rest of you have any issues?
Oh my God. No, when you said youngest, that's who was Praveen's concern.
No, Praveen didn't even bother. So you are youngest, Partha. In this show, if you don't react immediately, what I say is final, okay? So Partha, you are the youngest, followed by Satish and then Praveen, okay? Done. Yeah. So Partha, your first question. When did you join Toastmasters and why?
It's funny that you are asking this question, Jayan.
I know, I told you, I'm going to behave as if I don't know anything, but you've got to answer.
Yeah, for the most of the people, I joined with Jayan. Jayan and we joined in the club at the same time. He was a charter vice president of education and I was a charter sergeant at arms. This was the year 2006
Yeah.
when I was younger than however younger I am today. So since 2006, that was my first step in Toastmasters as sergeant at arms in a club called Covance's Chennai Toastmasters Club. That was apparently the second club in Tamil Nadu and the first corporate club in Tamil Nadu. So now it's changed to DXT Chennai chapter Toastmasters.
Why did you join?
Probably same reason you joined. I was always looking for a forum where it will help me connect with people, have a forum where I can discuss ideas. And here was one place where I could talk nonstop for nearly at least 5 to 6 minutes. And I could say whatever I wanted under the sky. So that's why I loved this forum.
Okay, fantastic. No, I think there is one mistake you did. When I asked you, why did you join? You said the same reason as you. I did not join for improving my communication skill or leadership skill. I heard the term club. I thought it is an entertainment club. That is how I jumped into it. Only after
I know
jumped,
that, Jay, and I wanted that answer from you. That is why I put it there.
I don't think, no, you are a very studious guy and you did really well right from the start, but I goofed up for a very long time. I still remember our mentor, Janaki Prasad Patnaik, who started that club. By then, this was in 2006. By then, Janaki Prasad Patnaik was into Toastmasters for 19 years.
Correct.
And he was a living encyclopedia of Toastmasters. Page number 32, this is the rule. That is how he used to tell us. And he was a
That is, he told you that way. For me, if he tells me it is enough. For you, he had to be a rule book.
Yeah, he had to be a rule book because I never listened to rules. I hope Nina John is not here. I've had some innumerable debates with her on the rules. One simple rule I still remember, 2006. Most of you in Toastmasters today might not even realize how formal we were as clubs. We were asked to wear ties for every meeting. I used to hate it. And I used to fight with all these guys and saying, why should I wear a tie? So it used to be that kind of an era. And now, except shorts, people come in all kinds of dresses, but that's how we have evolved over time. And I've seen some phenomenal growth. So I probably that way we are the oldest here and Praveen wins there, right? So I'm going to go over to Praveen, you. So when did you join and why did you join?
I joined in the year 2010, Jayan. And the reason behind that was to help my profile being built so that I can apply for B school and get going. That was the intention back then. But over the years, I realized that wasn't the passion that I had to follow. So dreams changed, passion changed, and in fact, Toastmasters helped me to become a better version of myself. Yeah.
Fantastic. 2010. So that's
2010, Chennai Toastmasters Club. I got to see the same bunch of people wearing ties, and the gentleman who received me was DTM Sarovel Rajan, who wore a yellow colored tie, and he still continues to do so.
yeah.
He was the president back then. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. Fine. So, so little more information because I thought I'll use this forum for giving away a lot of trivia to people who are here. Chennai Speakers Forum was an offshoot of Chennai Toastmasters Club, right? That started growing, and when it really outgrew, they decided they will start another version of CTM. Correct?
Right. You're right, Jain. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. And Arna was the first president.
He was our charter president. You're right.
Okay, charter president of CS. Okay, that is where okay, you started your career, and then you gave me the reason why you wanted to join a B school because of that.
Yes.
So
Right.
in fact, I'm sure many of you out here would be still thinking as to why did you join Toastmasters and when did you join Toastmasters? Have you achieved the reason for what you joined Toastmasters? I want all of you to recollect that because it's nice to go back memory lane and then figure out the reasons why we joined Toastmasters. In fact, I have a funny incident where one of the young guys came to me and said, I want to join Toastmasters. I asked him why. I want to become a DTM in 6 months. I was like, 6 months DTM. And that was his goal, nothing else. And I said, dude, you need to do a whole lot of projects. You need to take up a leadership position that will go for a year. No, I don't care all that. Tell me a way I can fast track into a DTM. So things like that, right? And he joined and then left within a month. I felt really bad for him. I don't know whether he joined back again, but I think we should bring him back again. By now, he would probably realize this was around 5-6 years ago.
Were you his mentor, Jain, by any chance?
I'm noting now.
Yeah, you please go ahead.
Yeah, you always Smiley behaved obediently. Yeah, don't mess with me here.
No. The trio, we have made a deal here. So we are kind of prepared to take down your questions.
All right. In fact, you're right. He actually asked me, can you be my mentor? Maybe I said yes and he left. Anyway, good for him.
Right.
So we'll move to Satish. Satish, quickly, I still remember one of the earliest times I met you in Third Wear, right? When you guys were somewhere near the Mount Road.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great. So when did you join and why?
Well, I joined Toastmasters in the year 2013.
13.
And it's a 13, and it's a very interesting story because I used to manage the Ford Motor Company account for Third Wear, and I used to walk inside the Ford offices in RMZ and used to see this group of people getting into a room and one person speaking and some people clapping. Then the second person will go and they will clap again. And they used to do it regularly every week.
Okay.
So when I asked one of these people, what do you guys do inside? Only thing I hear is somebody speaking and somebody clapping. But what do you speak and what do you clap for? So then he said, why don't you come into a meeting and you see for yourself what's going to happen? So I walked in there one week as a guest.
Okay.
I looked around and then they told me would you want to give a table topic? I said, no problem. I jumped up on stage, gave the table topic. I liked it. And then I figured out that they were actually told to kind of do Toastmasters in Ford because they had felt that a lot of the people here, when they communicate with their counterparts in US and Europe, there was some issue in the way we communicate and the way they understand and vice versa. So when I looked at it, I found, well, this is something which my organization also needs. And then I put forth that proposal in my organization. It went through and we started a club. And since we started the club, there was nobody to be the president. So I ended up becoming the president. And that's how my journey started and continues till today.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. So that Ford is a very interesting story, Partha would probably know that. Like Thirdware, Covance's customer was also Ford.
Yeah.
And we had some employees in Ford from Covance's, and they kept asking us, how can we be part of Toastmasters? And that is when we decided we will start a club in Ford for Covance's employees.
Right.
And that is how the Ford club started. And interestingly, you landed there.
Yep.
Wow, that's nice. So the world is so small. Ford has a big role to play in the growth
Right.
of corporate clubs in Chennai. And that's
Correct.
how Ford started its own club. They appreciated what was happening as part of the Covance's guys, and then they rolled it into their company, and that's how Ford started.
Even now, we have a club inside Ford, which is a Thirdware club, but that runs out of the Ford premises. And the Ford guys have been very considerate enough to say, you can run the club inside as long as it doesn't interfere with the work that we give to the resources. So they meet every week, and it's a very successful club. From the time they started, they have been either minimum select, distinguished and above.
Fantastic.
And, so it's very good that, and this is one of the very few cases that you would see instances where you have a Toastmasters club running out of a customer location.
And the customer agreeing to do that.
And the customer agreeing to it, right?
Fantastic. So great. So some PR for Ford guys. If you guys are around, hats off to you. So keep that going. So fantastic. So now that we understood the stories and the reasons why you people join Toastmasters, so that way the oldest is Partha and the youngest is Praveen, and Satish, you are in between. So Partha, this is how I'm going to measure your.
Actually, you are the oldest, Jayan, in that sense.
Sorry, I am the oldest, right?
Yeah, JP had approached you before me. I mean, I was found only after the XCOM was already formed and last minute Sergeant at Arms. You were already the Vice President Education.
Partha, this is about the
okay.
Yeah, the fight is between the three. I'm nowhere in the picture. But anyway, I'm just senior by few months or maybe even not few days.
Yeah, days.
All right. So in fact, my next question was a quick journey outline from where you started and where you have come. A quick outline. How has this journey been? If you were to say in say 2 minutes, I'm going to start with you, Partha.
Actually, in 2006, after I became Sergeant at Arms, that was probably only for a few months. And then I had to move out because of my assignment to another totally different location. So I nearly lost touch with Toastmasters for a few, let's say like 6 to 8 months. And I was in St. Louis, USA from 2007 to 2010. So in there, I had to join a local community club called Grace Church Toastmasters. And obviously, like how we didn't have a Sergeant at Arms in our club and I was made a Sergeant at Arms, there was no secretary there and they made me secretary there. So wherever I go, they'll use me like Rava Upma. That's the immediate person they would find and they'll put me there. So I was a secretary there in Grace Church Toastmasters. Again, I came back after around the time my daughter was born. So in 2010, I was back here. And it was the same story all over again. We came and the Vice President Education had to leave somewhere. And so JP asked me be the Vice President Education and I was the Vice President Education. So from Sergeant at Arms, Secretary in Grace Church Toastmasters and back to Covance's Chennai Toastmasters as the Vice President Education. It was, again, a lot of things influenced by JP. He would teach what I had to do. And after Vice President Education, another 6 months I was on break and then I was the president of the club. From the president, I had attended the first time my conference outside Chennai, rather outside India in Sri Lanka. So after that, I became the area governor 2012. And then 2013 was the division governor. So after that, I was into assistant LGM and then TLI chair. Then finally landed up in 2020 as the club growth director. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, so
phenomenal journey. I have a feeling that yours must be the longest stint in one single club, right?
I know where you're getting at. I have not left the company. Okay.
So, no,
Partha,
I,
you're giving content for Jain here. He was about to ask you that question.
no, don't read
That's
between
what I
lines.
said. I know where you're getting.
No, Partha, I want to make sure that I at least declare a Guinness Book of Records during this show, right? You are
Okay.
probably the longest serving member of a corporate club. I don't think anybody
Charter
else
member.
in D120 can challenge that.
Charter member, actually.
Charter member, and you've been the member of that club till now.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So how many years is that?
Well, you can do the math. 2006, 2020.
Wow, 14 years.
Yeah, but I had breaks in between when I was part of Grace Church Toastmasters in USA. So
But the same club was the reason for that, right?
okay, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't leave the organization, went and joined the Ford and came back. No. So you went on a deputation. See, all these loopholes, we will have to take it in our favor, right? And then try and make a Guinness record out of it. So as of now, you are the Guinness Book record holder in D120 of the longest serving member in one single club.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Amazing. Amazing. Right. So great. So we will move to Praveen, your quick journey.
So like I said, I joined in the year 2010 the Chennai Toastmasters Club. Back then I was a graduate out of college. So I was working for a MNC back then. So I wanted to build a profile for me to join a B school. I wanted to improve my leadership skills, communication skills. So that was the agenda I had in mind. So I joined the club in 2010. And back then I was even struggling to frame a sentence in English and deliver in front of an audience. That was my state back then in 2010.
10 years
From
ago.
there, right from there, today I run a couple of companies on my own. So I have bootstrapped those two companies, and it's only because of what Toastmasters offered me. That is what keeps me going in Toastmasters even today. Like I said, the time when I joined Toastmasters, my dreams were totally different. The dreams are different, but today it made me altogether a different person, and I believe that I'm on the right direction in life, and it's only because of Toastmasters. So there were times when I bootstrapped this company; it was very tough. In fact, I started off with a 75 square feet office space without any furnitures, without any resources, one man with a broken laptop. And if I'm able to pull this off, I think everyone who is part of Toastmasters, I think they can all go great heights because I wasn't even able to frame a sentence in English back then. I was handled by my mentor, my first mentor, DTM Karthik Srinivasan, who taught me every etiquette in speaking or how do you conduct oneself when you walk into a restaurant. To that level, he took me out to every place and he gave me the exposure. That's when I realized my dreams are very tiny in terms of getting to a B school. From there on, things were totally different, and I give credit to every mentor that have mentored Toastmasters. They played a huge role in my career, in my personal life, and everything. What I'm today is because of them.
Obviously, Karthik is no more, and some of us who have known him at very close quarters know what kind of power he was in shaping people, right? Those of you who know Alex, the famous Alex in Wonderland, his mentor when Alex was in Toastmasters was also Karthik. And if you notice Alex Prime video, he would have given credits to Karthik Srinivasan. To that extent, I think Karthik had an influence on all of us. But sadly, we lost him a couple of years ago. So if you were to name some of your mentors after that, Praveen.
Definitely. I have learned personally from many leaders in Toastmasters. My first president in my club was DTM Saurav Rajan. He is one fantastic process person. You get to work under him, you know the importance of process. Saurav Rajan, the first person, I sat next to DTM Neena John at the first meeting.
Oh,
So I saw her giving speech on that particular day, and I was like, oh my God, can someone even give a speech like this? She is a person of class. I mean, I learned a lot from Neena John. And today my mentor is DTM Sampath Saurirajan, a man of wisdom. And you interact with him, he will teach you so many things. And of course, now have wonderful trio team, Satish, Partha. We get to learn from each other day in and day out because every single day I get on to call with Satish and Partha at least for an hour. So it's like, you get to, get mentored by your own fellow district officers. So as long as you're open for learning new things, as long as you're open for becoming a better person, you will find the mentors around you all the time. So
Right.
whenever the student is ready, the teacher appears, is what I strongly believe in.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. Amazing. So that's a 10-year journey that has happened. But quick question, when you set out to become a Toastmaster, did you even dream of becoming the district director once? So sometime in your journey?
I didn't even dream of becoming my club president, let alone be a district director, because I joined to improve on my communication skills. I didn't even know what leadership was all about, because I was a graduate from college, never been into any leadership roles during my college days or school tenure. Had a little bit of inferiority complex back in school and college days, so it never allowed me to venture out in all this,
Right.
the activities, your college conferences. I was never involved in that. But then I think you mentioned about Chennai Speakers Forum. That's when I had my first stint as a club officer. I was the Charter Vice President Education. I served my leadership under Arna. She was one fantastic president. In fact, she's back to Toastmasters today. Kudos to Soro for bringing her back to Toastmasters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I started learning from different members from my club. In fact, in my XCOM, we had members of 35 years old, 40 years old, because it's a community club, right? And I'm there, a 22 years old guy sitting in the XCOM trying to learn from others. I never dreamt of even becoming club president when I joined Toastmasters. But the journey has, always given me a reason to go up the ladder, go to serve members. Every position that I've taken, it has helped me to become a better person. I've learned a lot. At the same time, I enjoy this journey where I get to serve members and also learn from them. It's mutual. I would never say that I'm here to serve members. No, I would be lying if I say that. I'm here to learn as well as to serve members in the
It's
process.
mutual. Yeah,
It's two-way. I think every person who is into Toastmasters or in any place always asks, what is in it for me? As
Yeah.
long as your intents are clear, as long as your intents are genuine, I think should keep climbing up the ladder and serve the members.
All right. Okay. In fact, I still remember the first time that I saw you was in 2013 Ovation that happened in Hilton, Chennai.
Hello,
You were
Shasta.
a logistics guy, right? Your job was to...
No. Okay. You didn't do your homework well. Where is Smiley? Can we have Smiley to make a note of this? I was a conference co-chairman of Ovation 2013.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. You can flip through the notes that you have in front of you, Jan. I'll wait. You want us to give us a few seconds? I'm all game for that.
Okay, I shouldn't have even taken this topic. I should have closed it with the journey and moved on. I thought I'd do something exciting. I'll share that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So this is what life is at Toastmasters, right? We think we are very confident with something, and then we go on the stage and talk about it, and then it backfires, and then we come back crying. Yeah. So you were the conference co-chair, and
Shasta was the conference chairman. Right.
The reason I very well remember that incident is the whoever was the chief guest from the US.
Right.
You went to receive him in the airport, right?
Okay.
Did you? No, forget it.
Smiley, you can still reduce further more points to join here. I think you're referring to Jimki or...
Who was the chief guest that year?
I didn't receive the chief guest of 2013. It was for Vijay's conference. Jimki came and I went on to receive him.
So he was so appreciative of the kind of help that you did.
Right.
So
it's Jimki 2016 Reverberation. So Vijay was the conference chair and I played the role of Toastmasters in attendance. So I received the chief guest, Jimki, and I took care of him. Yeah.
I got the event mixed up.
That's totally fine, Jay. Yeah.
It happens. Yeah, Smiley, you can remove that. Yeah. So now I'm going to quickly go to Satish. Satish, your quick journey from 2013 from that Ford conference room till where you are right now.
Well, when I started in 2013, the intent was only to kind of help my organization to kind of develop good traits in communication, especially of the youngsters whom we recruit from the engineering colleges every year. Pretty much did that for 2-3 years. And then after that, somebody said, why don't you go for area director? I said, okay, fine. If this helps me to expand my horizon, why not? So did one stint as area director. And then after that said, what next? I said, next is division director. I said, okay, let's do that. So did the division director stint. After that, had this Reverberation co-chair, and then it came to Ovation co-conference chair, and the natural progression was club growth director, and now here I am a program quality director. But in all of that, if you were to ask me that what was in it for me to kind of do this, because some people still ask me, you pretty much own your own company, you have got 35 years of experience with you, why do you still do all this?
Right.
I said I do all of this because I love doing it. Second is, if I've learned something along this way, I find this is a good forum to kind of give it back to people. What is the use of knowledge if you can't share it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's why I said, let me use this as a forum to give it back to people. End of the day, I can only share my experiences. Whether somebody wants to take it or not take it is up to them. Okay, but I can share. So that is why I kind of keep continuing on this journey.
Right.
Not because I kind of wanted to develop my communication skills or anything like that. Nor do I, at this point of time, if somebody asks me, are you looking for titles? I said, no, I'm not looking for titles. Okay. So it's not something like that. It's like I've worked without titles also. So it's more about giving it back to the society of what I have learned. So that's why I am in here. I am into this for such a long time. And from 2013 till 2030, the journey has been quite exciting. And I look forward to a new beginning every day in Toastmasters and out of Toastmasters also.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. So amazing. I'm sure all the three of you never set out thinking that you will take up this role at the district. I'm sure it all started with baby steps, one after another, defining smaller goals, reaching those goals. I'm sure the very first goal all of you set, I'm sure everybody who's here has set, is to reach that CC10 and get that coveted competent communicator certificate from TI. Now, of course, it has moved to pathways. So that is how we all have taken steps. And some of us have decided that this is not my cup of tea, and we would have probably stepped out of it. I remember I was area governor. It used to be called area governor for most of you who are not aware. Only later it was changed to area director and district director. When I was the area governor in 2008, there were only 2 areas in the whole of Tamil Nadu, just 2 areas. I'm just telling this for you all to understand how phenomenal the growth in Tamil Nadu has been, from 2 areas in the whole of Tamil Nadu. And now Tamil Nadu becoming a district by itself with 200 plus clubs is unbelievable growth. So we will have to give credit to all those who sowed the seeds in those days, right? Especially the credit goes to CTM, Chennai Toastmasters Club, run by Nina John, Indra Jairaj, Abraham Sakaraya, and Ravi Bhaskar, who's no more. So a whole lot of Jaikar, I remember interacting with him. And then when one of the clubs that I was dealing with was Medley Toastmasters Club. VNS sir had started that. And all of them had only one ambition in life, that we must build this forum in this part of the world and then serve as many people as possible. And interestingly, they all continue to serve with, that's what is called the unconditional love, probably. Not expecting anything in return, like how Satish was saying. So quickly, I want to move. I know our family members do not like us spending the kind of time we spend in Toastmasters. Maybe 90%, I cannot generalize, 90%, except cases where the entire family is into Toastmasters, like Sundaraman sir. Nina John conveniently brought her father into the fold, and she used to bring her father every time. I still remember Thomas sir coming to CTM at that age. So when you have a family member coming along with you, the damage is little lesser, I presume, right? So how has it been with the three of you, with your families? So for the record, all the 3 of you are married. I'm not going to add any adjective to that. We will just keep it as married. So how has it been, meaning the family's reaction to this entire journey? Do they even acknowledge the fact that you guys have learned something? So this will really help people currently who are probably married and having a tough time attending Toastmasters, they would get some tips from all of you.
And I know you are asking for the tip here, so we'll be happy to share our experiences at home. Yes, it is a little difficult when you have a family, especially when you're married and you have to look after your family and then look into Toastmasters. I'll tell you the challenge here. The challenge here is in terms of how much time one should devote in Toastmasters is the question,
Okay.
right? Since there is no definite guidelines given in in a book or manual for us to spend, that's where sometimes we tend to spend too much time into Toastmasters. One must be well organized in his day-to-day life. If not, definitely there'll be challenge in terms of managing his work, family, and Toastmasters.
Right.
Especially when we serve district leadership position at trio level, the work is too much. I mean, there's a lot of work to be managed day in and day out. We have to think of new things to do, work on the vision of the district, and all those things is there. So here, the answer to it is have a strong process. Even as a district, when we build a strong process today, next year when a new district director or new team walks in, they know what exactly the work they have to do, and they do that with the planning. If the process is not in place, definitely you will be into a situation where you have to invent, rediscover things on your own. That's when you will not be able to manage things. For example, if you manage a startup, let's say you start a company, you will be spending too much of time into it, like, because you'll have to look after the marketing division, you have to look after your finance division, operations, every division should be looked after you. Whereas you go and join a MNC, well established MNC, it will be processed. They'll say your work hours is from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. It's defined, right? In fact, the vision of our district this year is to bring that process in place, not only for the trio level or the division director level or the area director level, even at the club officers level, we are trying to channelize a lot of things. We are trying to bring a lot of process into the place so that anyone who walks into Toastmasters, sign up a role, they don't have to go back home with a sorry face and, oh, I spent too much time in Toastmasters. That is something as a leaders we are consciously trying to achieve this year.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So I don't know whether you went beyond the family thing. So what you meant was it all depends on the number of hours you spend, so that you don't annoy them and you do a work-life Toastmaster balance.
Balance, right.
That's more important. Yeah. So Partha, what are the challenges you've faced? I know you tagged the entire family to Ovation to Sri Lanka just to pacify them, send them on a tour, and you attend the conference. But otherwise,
Yeah, that was actually there. No, one thing with Toastmasters in the club is not a problem because I had to attend meetings only during my office hours. In the lunch of Wednesday or probably Tuesday afternoons was the lunch time, was the Toastmasters time. So my family would not even know that I was attending Toastmasters in my office. But when it comes to taking a leadership role outside the club, like the area director, the area governor, as you said, that point they did realize that yes, this guy is going around Toastmasters. And as you said, the word club must have come in many places, and the everybody thought at Toastmasters they are having a party time every time, and somewhere they understood fun night is there. So, and I would never tell about what we spoke and all because my family would not be interested, but I would tell them fun night was very interesting and so on. So they all they had the idea was Toastmasters is just fun all the time. Then I also, and whenever there was when there was situation, the first thing would ask, oh, you have just fun and you are out. So once I decided, okay, this shouldn't be a one way communication. So let them also feel what is Toastmasters. So I asked them, then my family or my wife or my parents, they never wanted to attend a Toastmasters meeting. So the obvious choice is, okay, let's go for a conference. So I told them, like, we're going on a tour to Sri Lanka. Okay, first time 2012 was Mangalore. Okay, 2012 Mangalore, 2011 rather. So again, my daughter, my wife, just two of us, we went to Mangalore. There again, they didn't attend any of the sessions except the fun night. And then they thought, okay, this is what is Toastmasters. 2012 again, we had a chance to visit Sri Lanka with my family. So now they sort of know, and that's the time my wife also saw that there's a lot of speeches that are going on, that totally different activities apart from fun night, which is happening in Toastmasters. And now they're sort of fine with that. And still, my wife doesn't want to join a club. The reason she says is because I'm in Toastmasters. Maybe she's inclined to join a club where I'm not even coming that side. So yeah, that's where my family stands. And my parents, yeah, they did attend the conference in 2015. That was time they were there. And my mother, occasionally she comes to Wordsmith, and she used to speak a couple of times. So that's the only time she did come. Yeah.
Nice.
And
Okay.
just for your information, Lalita Giridhar was my mother's student. So that's a lot of connection she found out after she came into Toastmasters, because she found out some of our students are already in Toastmasters. So I am being watched, I guess, from somewhere.
No wonder you behave so obedient, yeah, every time we see you. Right. So Satish, how about you? I remember seeing your daughter in one of the meetings, right? So
See, in my case, family at home has been used to seeing me working the phones from 5 in the morning till 1 a.m. in the night, 1 a.m. the next day morning. So they pretty much don't know to whom I'm speaking to, whether it is my work related or Toastmasters related or friends related. Only thing they know that I'm on the phone, especially when I get to travel a lot, and wherever I go, I tell that this is where I'm going. That is why I keep my family informed. So sometimes they say Toastmasters meeting. I say yes, Toastmasters meeting. Even on weekends, I said yeah, even on weekends. So they have not complained at all. But there's only one complaint that my wife has raised at some point of time. She's saying that of all the time that you spend in Toastmasters, I think you get paid by them, but you're not telling us. Okay? You're not telling us. Okay, so there is some income that you are kind of getting, and you are stashing it away somewhere. So that is the only suspicion that they have.
does she know that it is the other way around?
And when I was, we had this conversation with Dan Rex and Richard Peck when they were here, and this same topic came up. So Richard was saying that not only you, a lot of our wives all have that suspicion that we are all getting paid by Toastmasters, but we are not telling them, okay, for the amount of work that we do. But other than that, they have never complained. They said that being supportive of the fact, and let me kind of do whatever I'm doing, as long as it doesn't kind of affect them in any manner, which I don't think has till today.
Okay.
So that has kind of made me continue on the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
But in all the three cases, none of you were pushed by your family member to join Toastmasters, right?
No, not in my case at all. And in
fun.
my daughter's case, if I once or twice I've broached her to say whether you want to join, she's told me that she's got the confidence even now, so she doesn't need Toastmasters. So I've left it at that.
Oh, okay, fine. All these years, that cross-pollination of what Toastmasters has gone into her, and probably, right, that wind is blowing
Right.
into the house, right? So
Correct.
that she would have got it from there, and then they don't need it. And the same is the case at home for me as well. So the reason why I asked you is if any of your spouses have pushed you into Toastmasters. I still remember Janaki Prasad Patnaik, our mentor, mine and Partha's in those days in 2006. He had the story to share with us. His wife used to push him. He was in the Middle East, and his wife used to push him to go and attend the club meetings. And this guy was one nervous wreck. The moment he walks into the club and they give table topics, he sweats and he feels so dejected, demotivated. So he's so scared to attend the meeting. But on the other hand, there is domestic violence happening. Wife is pushing him to go and join. And these are evening clubs. He comes from work. She says, it's time for you, go. For almost 3 months, this guy went to a local park, sat there for an hour, and then came back home. 3 months. And every time the wife asks, how has it been going? Oh, fantastic. Everything is going good. And then one fine evening, I think another Toastmaster happened to meet his wife. And the first question he asked is, why is that your husband doesn't attend Toastmasters clubs these days? And this guy was caught red-handed. And that's how the story went, right? So there are many people who were cajoled by their family members.
I still remember one of our RAs, regional advisors. He used to tell that his story of Toastmasters, he was again pushed by his wife. He said, I used to spend my weekends lying on the couch and watching TV. Okay. And he says, one day my wife got so wild at me. She said, what the hell are you doing at home on weekends, not doing anything, just lying in front of the TV? So just go and join. There is something called Toastmasters. Just go and join that. I've already told somebody that you are going to come there. Please go and join the club. So this guy says that I went there not knowing what is going to happen. So he started by went there, listened to it, liked it, hooked onto it, and he says that is how now I am an RA. Okay. So otherwise he says I would have been lying on the couch still watching TV. So a lot of journeys.
So essentially time well spent,
Right,
for all of you.
Right.
So there is this famous thing that is only applicable to Toastmasters, where when you take a leadership role, you have the responsibility, but you don't have the authority. In fact, our neighboring district, CK sir, who took the session recently at the Train the Trainer, he has a workshop that he runs around this, right? This is not true in the case of a corporate environment where you have the responsibility and also your title as a vice president or a senior manager or whatever it is gives you the authority. So you will be able to easily get work done from your team. But in the case of a leader within Toastmasters, you have a hell of a lot of responsibility, but you don't have the authority. I'm sure some of you who have been a VP education in your clubs, some of you are currently VP education would understand what I'm saying. You guys go around begging members, can you do a speech next week? Can you take up this role next week? Even today, the VPE in my club requested me today that can I do a role the next week? So that's how pathetic the leadership roles are. So how has it been in your case, and what is that you would probably advise or suggest the current leaders at the club level or at the area level or a division level? How do you think this can be managed? This is $1 million question that's there on the minds of everybody. So we'll start with Satish.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, like you mentioned, in a corporate environment, I would say it is pretty much easy because you got a title, you got the authority, and people are kind of tend to believe that when you have the authority, you can use that authority, and by virtue of being in an environment where you get paid for whatever you're doing. So there is this reward and punishment or reward and risk kind of environment there, where if you perform, you get your salary. If you perform, exceed your goals, you get a promotion or you get an increment, or you get to kind of move abroad, whatever. Okay. At the same time, if you don't perform, obviously, you can say that the door is always closer to you where you are. Okay. So that I would say in a corporate environment, it's very much easy for these things to happen. But if you take an environment like Toastmasters, like you mentioned, where nobody's inclined to kind of listen to you. Okay. So they would say, okay, if you are the president, so what? Okay. Or if you are the division director, so what? Okay. I am the president of the club. I will do whatever I want to do. Okay. And there is no way that you can penalize that person. I would say that is where the true test of a leadership comes in, because all these roles are transitionary roles. No one is going to retire from a role in Toastmasters. You technically retire at the end of every year. You don't retire when you hit a retirement age of 58 or 60. So in that 1 year, if you have to get to do somebody to do whatever they want to do, that is where when we look at a lot of people to say, how do you kind of communicate to people that your vision and their vision is the same? Correct. And which goes down to the fact is, why have you joined Toastmasters? Right. If you have joined Toastmasters for a title, then you are in the wrong place. Yep. If you have joined Toastmasters to improve yourself, then what kind of improvement are you looking on? So some people kind of want to improve their communication skills. Some want to become a better speaker so that they can stand on stage and speak. Some want to learn their leadership skills so that they can get to learn how to manage a team or how to manage a group of people. Some want to become good at executing large projects. So that is why they say, put me as a conference chair. I want to be part of the conference team so I learn how to work with people. So if we can understand what is every person's need to come and join Toastmasters, and if we can address that need, I think you can get a lot of stuff done from people. Because end of the day, this is a forum which allows you to experiment, fail, and still fail, and then succeed. Okay, so no other forum will allow you that kind of a freedom or a liberty.
Absolutely.
So you have to clearly understand what exactly does an individual want to get out of Toastmasters, and if you can address that need, I think you would have kind of solved the problem in terms of ensuring that people work together with each other. That is what I have seen in my 8 years with Toastmasters.
Fantastic. In fact, I totally agree with you. I'm sure even Praveen and Partha would
Right.
this is one skill. If you can master it, I think you can flourish in any business or corporate life and even personal life, right? So that is
True,
what,
Jain. In fact, in my experience, I believe as a leader, one must build the credibility. Once you have the credibility, then you will be accepted by any member in Toastmasters. Every member will be watching every other leader. I mean, people always listen to what you speak, listen to your actions, listen to everything that you do. So that's what is happening. And to build that credibility in Toastmasters has given us a timeless guiding principles: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. If you take care of these core values in every action that you do, I think you will always be looked up to as a leader. And sometimes we come across individual who might not even have a title in our fraternity, but he might be very powerful in terms of influencing a set of people. It's only because of the core values that he practices day in and day out that will help him to command respect among the members.
okay, got it. Okay, so quickly, we are running out of time. We just have another probably 8 minutes. I thought it was just 20 minutes since we started this conversation. I want to see if there are any. Sorry?
You changed 2 coffee cups, I guess.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I had tea and coffee as an option. I didn't like the tea, so I switched to the coffee. Okay, forget that. Don't notice all this, Partha. In fact, quickly, when I wanted to do this chat show, I thought I should keep my coffee cup and it'll be visible on the camera, and it wasn't. I thought I'll brand it as tête-à-tête and all that, and nothing worked. Then finally, I thought, if you're in a Zoom call, you want to do some PR, you know where you need to brand your cup? Here. So when you drink, people can see this. So I did all these funny things in another meeting and I thought I'll go. So I hope you noticed these guys. Tête-à-tête with Jane. Okay, fantastic. Right. So any questions from any of you in the audience, please ping us and then we will be more than happy. Smiley, if you can collect it.
There was one question, I think they wanted to know what happened when Praveen went to the airport to receive the keynote speaker.
Yeah, so all this, we are opening a separate page on our website. You have this kissa column, no? So like that, we want to start and then do all what these guys are doing and update it there so that everybody knows what happened. But nothing happened, but just that the keynote speaker was appreciating the way Praveen went there middle of the night and got him around.
Okay, I'll keep it short, Jain. In fact, the incident that happened was the keynote speaker who came all the way from the United States. He got a back sprain when he landed in Chennai.
Oh, okay.
So I was along with another Toastmasters named Ashish. So we went to receive him at the airport. We dropped him in the hotel. At that point in time, he mentioned as he got a back sprain, which he had a electric warmer, to take care of his back. And we left him in the hotel, and then we went back to search around the city to find that warmer, and went and gave back to him. And he was so appreciating about that fact in the conference. He said, the true quality of a leader is when you present yourself to the members, ask, how can I serve you? So that's something which he related to the incident and he spoke to in the conference.
Okay. So you're trying to tell us that whenever we go to receive somebody, they should have a backache. That's what we should pray. And then we go pick something and give it to them and they appreciate us. Because whenever I've gone, nobody had any issues. Didn't even acknowledge my effort.
Probably they might have not shared the issues with you. After you would have left, probably they would have went and vented out everything to someone else. Right.
Okay, I'm going to have a quick rapid fire round with all of you for the next 2 minutes. Your mics are on and you need to tell me quickly. Don't even think you are supposed to tell me quickly. So I'm going to start with Praveen.
Yes.
You guys need to pick one of the two that I'm going to tell and quickly, no thinking. Praveen, your favorite division right now, A or D?
D.
Okay, A, please note. So, Partha, Satish or Praveen?
Satish.
Praveen, please note. Okay, Satish, Dhananjaya or Katani?
Katani.
Okay, Praveen, Balraj or Deepak?
Balraj.
Okay, Deepak sir, I'm calling you. Okay, so Partha, Hema or Selva?
Hema.
Okay, Selva, I know you've been beaten up quite a lot. Right, Satish, ISE or humorous?
ISC.
Yeah, humorous is very risky for all of us to go. So final question back to you, Praveen. Tamil
Yes.
Club or CSF Club?
CSF.
Sattara. You're currently the member of what? Both the clubs or Tamil Uttra?
I'm a member of Tamil Chennai Sulindal
Yeah,
Mandal.
so basically they're nice people. You can go and tell guys, look here. The reason why I said CSF is because
No, that's where I learned my leadership from. So I
so
can't.
you're not learning anything from Tamil Uttra Club. Is that what you're trying to tell?
You shouldn't forget your past, Jains. So we have a lot to talk about the past. Don't forget.
Okay, so another rapid round. You have, what is that one word that comes to your mind when I mention this to you? Starting with Praveen, Nina John.
Class. I mean,
Okay, Partha, D82,
Learning ground.
learning ground. Okay, so Satish, Sarovail Rajan,
Good teacher.
good teacher, fantastic. Praveen, back to you, District 120.
a great district.
Great district.
Yes.
We are hardly 4 days old.
No, I think members are quite old in Toastmasters. In fact, the name is new name, but it's a very old members are part
Very
of it.
old member. So that's the vision probably.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, so Partha, the host of this show.
You.
Then I asked Nina John, he said all the nice things, and then you are like giving me logically right answer and not a convincing answer. Okay,
I would say, okay, Jyotika. Okay.
the host of the show is the Jyotika. Sorry, okay.
Hey, you better give us the
Okay, Jyotika.
options. If you want to make it interesting, give us the
You
option,
do
right?
more than what you are expected.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, anyway, Partha, I owe you a coffee. So Satish, Praveen. Satish?
Yeah.
Yeah, your question is, what is that one word that comes to your mind when I say Praveen?
Good friend.
Good friend. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. So back to you, Praveen, for the last question.
Yes.
Sarma Mahalingam.
A good mentor.
Good mentor. Okay, I like that. So here's the last round before I take questions from the other people. So you need to reveal what I ask you to do. Okay. So again, back to you, Praveen. When was the last time or the only time you remember failing in something?
Will remember failing in something. That's a very good question. A few days ago in a client's call.
Okay, fantastic. I understand. All right. Partha, when was the last time you remember stealing something? Vikram,
Sorry, I lost you. Can you repeat the question?
when was the last time you remember stealing something?
Stealing my wife's heart.
Hey, I knew all these Toastmasters know adulterated people. They've lost their creativity. Come on. Okay. Other than that, what is that you have stolen? Tell me about money, pencil, all the stuff here. Just because you need your dinner tonight, don't give all this.
She's not watching. She's not watching, so it's fine.
It's on
You
FB
can't.
Live. Okay. Have you stolen anything as a child? Nothing? You're such a nice, obedient student.
Okay, you are making me recollect so many different things.
Okay, so I'll move. Satish, when was the last time you remember getting caught?
Yeah, can't recollect something like that.
I know when you think deep, you will get it. So I'm going to come back to you. So Satish, when was the last time you remember getting caught?
Last time I remember getting caught was 2 days back by my wife. Because I was planning a trip to Thailand when all of this lockdown gets over. So I was speaking to one of my friends there, and she apparently overheard the conversation, and she said, "Where are you going to?" I said, "I'm going to Thailand." She said, "For what?" I said, "Official work." Then she said, "Don't tell me. I know that Third Way doesn't do any work in Thailand as of now." So then I had to make up this story, and then I said, "How do you know Third Way doesn't do any work in Thailand?" She said, "Of all the phone calls that you do during the day, I know as much as your customers as you know about them. So you don't have to lie to me."
So you need to sharpen your table topics skills, Satish. Attend as many table topics as possible, and I'm sure we'll get there one day without her knowledge. But as of now, lie low. It's not safe. Okay. So back to you, Praveen. What is one embarrassing moment you remember?
Embarrassing moment, losing the contest and thinking that you're going to win the contest, like, be at the top. And
Which
then
contest?
it was international speech contest. Right.
Okay. And was
So
it
you have this
I was
feeling,
there,
right?
Praveen.
After you present giving the speech,
I
you'll be
can,
like,
I
I'm
don't,
sure
I don't know
I'm
if
winning
Jayan
the speech.
remembers. I was
sorry?
perfect. There was no mistake. And then you just felt that you have given your best, and you thought, well, there's no third and second, just the first. And
Yeah, you'll
finally
be waiting for
realized
your
you're not.
turn, right? Though they'll be calling me next, wait and watch, and then nobody calls your name but the top 3 winners, and that's the most embarrassing moment that I've had. Right.
I know. So Spartha, back to you. When was the last time you remember having a traffic?
And you know who won?
Who won? No. Who's
Traffic
getting?
what?
No. So when was the last time you remember getting, involving in a traffic
What's that? Traffic?
violation? Is there a lag, or am I the only one facing it?
Traffic
I think there is a lag.
Lag, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So traffic violation. Okay, there is something wrong here. I feel.
You can shoot the next question, Jayan. I think
So
it's a lag with the Partha.
who froze? Everybody is just staring at
No,
the
no,
camera.
no, no, no. We are good. We are good.
Sorry. Did you ask me about traffic violation?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I left my vehicle in a no parking slot, or rather, I kept it in the right place, but somebody moved it into the no parking slot, and therefore I was given a slip.
Okay, okay, great. And finally, all the three of you, quick answer, your favorite moment in your entire life in Toastmasters so far.
Understanding my passion about life.
Understanding your passion.
Passion.
You understood that from Toastmasters?
Right. Discovering yourself. Yeah.
Discovering oneself. Okay.
Oneself, discovering oneself. Yeah.
Okay, Satish?
Well, if you want to ask me the one thing about Toastmasters is, for me, the best moment is every day, because every meeting that I go, every speech that I give is a new revelation. So I think that every day for me in Toastmasters is a defining moment.
Defining moment. Okay, great. No wonder you run an organization. So Partha, what is your defining moment in Toastmasters?
I wouldn't say it's a moment, but then the fact that all my, when I was division governor and all the area governors moved on to division roles the next year. So I made sure everybody stayed in Toastmasters even after the year over.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. So my time is up. I wish I could run this session for another whole 1 hour, but we will be really putting people to sleep. I want to give it back to Smiley for her remarks or any questions that she may have. So thank you all the three of you for joining in this first episode. This is a chat show that we are planning to have month on month with some new guests every time within the Toastmasters fraternity and also outside the Toastmasters fraternity, so that we can get to know people's journey in their leadership life. So that is the intent, but we will keep it as casual and fun as possible.
And also for us to know your journey in Toastmasters.
Oh, yeah. So everybody knows it's full of forms and I'm still learning. So we will do that. But getting to know people is important because there are a lot of new members who have joined, and for them, it should definitely help. So I'm going to pass it on quickly to Smiley so that I stick to the time limit they've given me. Over to you, Smiley.
Thank you, Jayan. You're over 10 minutes already. So, but it was so entertaining. I'm sure everyone was happy it went that much bit longer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jayan. Thank you, Pravin. Thank you, Partha. And thank you, Satish. It was very, very entertaining. The quips, the inside jokes that we got to know, the stories of your journey in Toastmasters and how it's made you grow. It was also insightful, especially for new Toastmasters like me. We know what to look forward to in the next decade or even more than a decade with some of you. So it was very, very interesting. And the important fact, it was very entertaining. You guys kept it more lively, and the jokes, the casual format was so different to our Toastmaster meetings, which is sort of in a very formal way. So thank you for that. Before we sign off, I want all the audience to kind of take a minute. There is a feedback form that we've shared in the chat window. I'm going to give you a minute. Just go on, click on that, and let us know what you think of the show. This is going to be an ongoing thing. So Jayan's going to be sitting with a lot of different people, a lot of interesting personalities, and have all these jokes and information for us. So if you could all click on that link and fill the form, that'd be fantastic. With that, does anyone have any questions in the audience? So now is a good time.
In fact, they can put it as part of the feedback so we can take it off.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do that because we've run over time. So if you have any questions, do write to us and we're happy to, get back to you. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. It's been a fantastic Sunday evening, as it should be.
Yeah, fantastic. And Tanishka, I just saw your question. Any tips on how to make the most out of Toastmasters as a final year college student? I'm sure Praveen is the right guy to answer that question, but I'm going to take that answer from Praveen and shoot it across to you, Tanishk. We will do that, definitely. So rest of you, if you have any questions, leave it there and we'll definitely get that answered offline. So that is
Jayan,
what.
thank you so much for organizing. Jayan and team, actually. I know there's a big team behind it. So great job. I really enjoyed being part of the session.
Yeah, the entire PR team and the TLI team, they were behind this. They've been on this the whole day today. So I want to thank each one of them for making this happen today. And the attendees, if not for them, we will be talking to the wall.
I still feel I am talking to the wall. Okay.
Yeah, still. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, Jayan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure
Thank you very
talking to
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Smiley. Thank you.